gentlemen, you're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Well, the forecast was not great, and it's kind of overcast, but it has stopped raining. What does that mean? That means that it's time for baseball, as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. Today, it's the New York Yankees against the Boston Red Sox in Game 3 of a 4-game set from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Paul O'Neill and David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. Yankees have lost 3 in a row. First 2 of this 4-game set to the Red Sox. Last night, it was by a score of 4-1. Pretty good pitching matchup, and a lot of the scoring was done early.
Well, a lot of the scoring was done early, and a lot of the scoring in this series has been done by Pierce. This is his 4th home run in the first 2 games. And Sevy, who's given up a few, that gave them a lead, got Boston going. Miguel Andujar, his 14th. You think maybe they're going to fight back, get back in this game? That was the only hit and the only run that the Yankees could put together. Rick Porcello, watch movement, watch strikes, talk about bullpens. He didn't need it. Complete game.
He was unbelievable. Nailed that game down and was pumped up when they got the final out. Not too many people throw complete games in the game the way it is right now. How about today? Today's pitching matchup brought to you by People's United Bank. Nathan Ubaldi, former Yankee, will go for the Red Sox. And Chance Adams in his Major League debut. Tell us something about Chance Adams, David.
Well, he's steadily worked his way up the Yankees farm system and really been one of their best pitching prospects for the last 3 or 4 years. And had off-season elbow surgery to remove a bone spur, and that kind of slowed him down this year. He got off to a slow start, but much better as of late, including his last outing when he took a no-hitter into the 7th inning. So timing is everything in life, and for Chance Adams, he lined up for today's start, and there are the graphics that'll show you a little more about him.
5th round pick by the Yankees in 2015, starting before the season, the 81st overall prospect in Major League Baseball, according to Baseball America. You can only imagine right now, as we prepare for baseball, how his heart is pounding. When we get back, lineups, first pitch, baseball, Yankees, Red Sox, next on Yes. Morning favorites at McDonald's for only $4. By Planet Fitness, the world judges, we don't. Be free. By Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. And by your local Kia dealers. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. I think this is shocking everybody. There's baseball right now. All the forecasts were so dire that it seemed like the earliest we'd get to baseball was 8 o'clock this evening. But the sun is shining. Blue skies right now over Fenway Park. And we will have baseball. Nathan Ubaldi is on the field. with his Red Sox teammates. He's taking his warm-ups, and this is the Yankees starting lineup that he's going to face. The left fielder, Brett Gardner, leads off. Then it's DH, Giancarlo Stanton. D.D. Gregorius at short. Cleaning up, center fielder Aaron Hicks. Gleyber Torres at second base, bats fifth. Batting sixth, the first baseman Greg Bird. Miguel Andujar at third base, bats seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Austin Romine. And Shane Robinson is going to get the start in right field. He'll bat ninth.
And here's our old friend, Nathan Ubaldi, now on the Red Sox. Came back from his second Tommy John surgery, Paul. I mean, he had one actually in his high school years, I believe, and then thought he was past it, had to have another one on the year. It's been pretty solid since his return, and his debut with the Sox was a 7-inning shutout. And let's give you the pitcher scout report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers and the rotation reinforcement. I mean, he really did reestablish himself down in Miami, I believe, or Tampa, down in Tampa, and became a trade asset. He's a strike thrower. His control is better than ever. He's throwing more cutters. A little different look for him. Almost 29% cutters, opposed to 7% last year.
Yeah, I understand he's got his velocity back, and that's, I mean, a big thing coming off of surgery. Throwing the mid to upper 90s.
First pitch is outside, and we are underway. Phil Cuzzi is the home plate umpire. Chris Conroy at first. Dan Bellino at second, and Adam Hamari is over at third. One and one on Gardner. Aaron Boone, before the game, talked about how he likes the way his team is responding, and they're not down. They just feel good about things, and he expects them to snap out of it. That one is looped to shallow right, but right there is Holt to make the play. Let's take a look at the Red Sox defense, which is brought to you by Geico. In the outfield, Benintendi in left, Bradley in center, and Betts over in right. Infield, it's Nunez, Bogarts, his first start of the series. Holt and Moreland third to first. Sandy Leon is behind the plate, and David Detail, Nathan Ubaldi is on the mound. Here's Giancarlo Stanton. Stanton, since June 16th, is a .333 hitter. That's a breaking ball with no bite. Crowd oohs and ahs.
Funny thing is, when you're the Boston, New York series, anything close, the fans just love it.
1-1. They don't shift for Stanton as much as other teams. Second baseman is actually on the second base side of second base. A lot of teams have three infielders on the left side. Now the outfield plays him shaded toward right. Center fielder Jackie Bradley is in right center field. The 2-1. Lights are on here at Fenway Park. And the 2-2. Swing and miss. Two away.
Ubaldi, I mean, a fastball thrower, but a lot of slider, breaking ball like cutters here, and you see Stanton. A lot of weight going away from the baseball. Not much balance at this point.
Here's D.D. Gregorius. Before yesterday's game, Boone explained he really wants to give Gregorius a day off. He said, but, you know, we don't have the opportunity right now to do it. So they're kind of riding him hard, and he has responded very, very well.
I think that Didi is the guy that you kind of lean on right now. It's a couple home runs in game one. He was the guy that really kind of stood up. You see him, you know, he gives you good at bats. He plays good defense. He's kind of the anchor of that infield. So, I mean, this is a time when you go through tough times, you need guys like this in the lineup every single day.
You know, all the extra guys are in the bullpen nowadays, the modern roster construction.
Popped up. Bogarts makes the play, and that'll do it. Yankees go down in order. And now Chance Adams is walking out to the field to start his major league career. Debut on the mound at Fenway Park. Why don't we take a look at the lineup that he is going to face? And it is brought to you by Lexus. Mookie Betts in right, Andrew Benintendi in left, Mitch Moreland at first, J.D. Martinez the DH, batting fifth the shortstop Xander Bogaerts, Eduardo Nunez at third, Brock Holt the second baseman, Sandy Leon the catcher bats eighth, batting ninth the center fielder Jackie Bradley Jr.
And you said it well, Michael. You know, you kind of wonder, did you toss and turn last night in your bed? You know I did when I made my debut. And progressively, those numbers have gotten better in AAA this year. And we mentioned his offseason elbow surgery.
And the pitch to Betts. First pitch is a strike. There's his dad, Brandon Adams.
Cheering on the first pitch. Got a ways to go.
Getting it on the phone. How proud a dad must be.
That's what it's all about. Dad and mom.
And he got such late notice that he was coming up. The whole family couldn't be here, but you're sure that dad moved heaven and earth to get to Boston to see his son. Grounded, third base, grabbed there by Andujar. One away. So now, David, he can breathe a little bit.
Okay, one down. Take a breath. Let's go ahead and give you a little bit more in our scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And obviously the Boston debut and, you know, into the fire. He's just the fourth Yankees pitcher since 1965 to draw a start against Boston in his major league debut. Severino did it. Randy Kiesler. How about Sam Militello? Sam I Am.
Yeah.
And slow start. We mentioned that elbow surgery. And how about this? I mean, I couldn't resist. You know, there's so many puns with that name, but Chance the pitcher.
Not the rapper.
That one is looped into center field. It's a base hit for Benintendi.
Wow, as you've seen all this whole series, it seems like when they hit it hard, it's a home run. When they hit it soft, it's a blooper for a hit. The Red Sox just, for some reason, came into this series. Seems like everything's on their side at this point.
Now behind the plate for the Yankees is Austin Romine, and he does not know Chance Adams that well. He recalls that he might have caught one inning in spring training. The Yankees backup catcher Kyle Higashioka knows him very well through the minor leagues. But because of the Red Sox running game, they've got to keep Romine behind the plate because he throws better than Higashioka. And Boone also said that Romine's really good at creating that relationship with the pitcher as they move along. From inning to inning, even within a game. Red Sox are 13 for 13 against the Yankees in stolen bases this year. And 5 for 5 this series. And they run against everybody, and they run at a really good success rate.
The Yankee pitchers have really been guilty of not giving Romine a chance.
Romine has it clank off his glove, go to the backstop. So Benintendi moves into scoring position.
Setting up away, Paul, and he gets it down and in. Got glove on it. Probably a play that he'll tell you he should have made.
Yeah, ball just kind of tugged across the plate, but again, you know, when you get a glove on it, most of the time you see Romine come up with it. But, you know, you see this situation, it's going to be an unbelievable opportunity for Chance Adams of kind of an overwhelming experience, and it's probably not going to be long before you figure it out. Good pitch there. First breaking ball that he threw back door, especially in a fastball count. Tony, you were pretty impressed by video watching his slider. There's a good one there.
Yeah, he's a 4-pitch pitcher. That's probably more of his curveball at 76. He's got a slider to go with it, but fastball, curveball, changeup, and a slider.
That one's drilled deep to right field. Going back, Robinson, track, wall, see ya. Home run, Moreland, and it is 2-0 Red Sox.
What do you say, Coney? I mean, it's like inevitable that young kids are going to make mistakes their first thing, and Moreland just hammers this thing to right field. Again, no wind to speak of. Ball's going to carry here in Fenway today. I'll tell you one thing, the Boston first baseman combined 5 home runs in the first 3 games.
That one was more of the slider, about 82 miles an hour, and it was right in the wheelhouse, and Moreland took care of it.
Breaking ball strike to J.D. Martinez. Skied the other way. And the seat's out of play. So many things had to fall perfectly, domino, so to speak, in order for Chance Adams to be standing on that mound. And a lot of them not good. And Joel Sherman of the New York Post had a column today detailing that there were 10 steps that had to happen for Chance Adams to be on that mound. And again, most of them are not good. A lot of injuries, a lot of ineffectiveness. Sonny Gray getting taken out of the rotation, hand, foot, and mouth disease. Justice Sheffield was not pitching on this day in turn. Fly ball right field. Robinson's there. 2 outs, and that's how Chance Adams is on the mound. And also, he was coming off probably his best start of the year.
A lot of people thought that Chance Adams would get a call up last year because he pitched so well in the minor leagues, and as it turned out, he had a little bit of an elbow issue that was taken care of in the offseason, bone spur. Even though it's relatively a minor surgery, it takes some strength away. It takes a while to get your flexibility back.
First start of the series for Bogaerts. His wrist had been sore. He got hit in the last game of the Red Sox-Phillies series, so he came in defensively yesterday. They didn't want him to swing a bat for a couple of days, and now back in the lineup. 0-2.
There were actually some rumors that they must have to disable him. So Red Sox happy to have him back in the lineup. Like they need more offense at this point, huh?
Take a look at the Yankees defense behind Adams, brought to you by Geico. Gardner, Hicks, and Robinson left to right in the outfield. And Duhart, Gregorius, Torres, and Bird third to first. Romine's behind the plate. Chance Adams is on the mound. 1-2. Not afraid to throw his fastball, right around 93, 94. And that one's fouled straight back.
You don't see a lot of short at bats against the Red Sox. Even Martinez's last at bat fouled off a couple pitches and then hammers one to right field. It's just like they're always on the prowl at the plate, not giving you easy outs.
Popped up. Gardner's there, makes the play, and that'll do it. But the Red Sox scored 2 on 2 hits. Nobody left. 2-0. Red Sox lead. Camry Hybrid, the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. What do you find concerning about the way the Yankees have played over the last 3 games? Lack of fundamentals and no sense of urgency. Yes, it is only August, but their play lately combined with their inability to beat sub-500 teams should raise a lot of alarms. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Camry Hybrid to keep the conversation going. You know, that has now become an accepted narrative that they don't beat sub-500 teams. They do. They have the 10th best record against sub-500 teams. And coming into this series, had the best record against teams over 500. But the Red Sox are beating everybody, so everything is compared to that. But they do beat sub-500 teams.
Yes, they do. And you're right. You hit it right on the head, Michael, in that the Red Sox are on a historic pace, and that's who your comp is right now.
Count 2-1 on Hicks. Well, when Chance Adams came off the mound, Rothschild goes over to Romine. And then they give that information to Chance Adams. Yankees down 2-0.
Well, welcome to the big leagues, a bloop and a blast, as you said, Paul.
No doubt about it. And I think you have to really remind somebody in Chance Adams' shoes that, you know, you're at Fenway Park. You give us 5 innings, keep us in the game. A lot of things can happen, but you just can't let it get out of hand. And you're playing a team, to me, is probably playing as well as they played all year. Everything is going right for them right now.
David, no matter what happened, all right, he gave up the home run. Is there now a reset button, a sense of relief? He's pitched in a big league game.
Absolutely. I thought, other than the one slider that got hit for the homer, he didn't look nervous or wild. He really threw all of his pitches. He threw strikes. So, yes, to answer your question, yeah, that's out of the way. You're annoyed, obviously, that you're down 2-0. You've already given up your first big league homer. But all things considered, he did not look nervous to me. He looked like he was under control.
Here's Gleyber Torres. He's 2 for 10 in the first 2 games in this series. Grounded up the middle. Bogarts fields. There's 1, and there's 2.
Torres, to me, just has not looked himself this series. And I go back to what happened. He had a couple home runs the day that the defensive kind of blunders happened. And, I think that he got called upon it. It might even have embarrassed him to a point where right now I don't think he's himself. He's too good of a player to come in here after just hitting 2 home runs in the game prior to the series and show up like this. But he is one of the guys that you need to swing the bat in your lineup.
Here's Greg Bird. One other note about the sub 500 record. Their record against sub 500 teams is 36-19. That's 8th in Major League Baseball. 8th. So to say they were unsuccessful, you know what people are piggybacking on, David and Paul? They're 5-5 or 6-6 against the Orioles. So you look at that, and obviously they must play better against the Orioles, but overall against sub 500 teams, they played very well. And they're 32-21 against teams 500 or better, which is the best in the majors, and Boston second at 29-20. Two and 2 on Bird. Grounded foul. Take a look at the weather. Game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 75 degrees, high humidity, wind 14 miles per hour. There's cloudy with a chance Adams of a shower.
Bringing this guy into everything.
High fly ball, center field. Bradley makes the play, and that'll do it here in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. And because of the double play, nobody left.
Welcome back. I'm Meredith Morakovitz. I spoke with Kyle Higashioka earlier today, who caught Chance Adams a lot in the minors, and he told me he is a pretty calm and collected guy, adding if there is anyone who has the demeanor for this, it's Chance Adams. He does not think he'll be fazed by this environment at all, as Didi Gregorius gets the first out of the inning. He also went on to say the difference in his stuff this year, David, you alluded to the fact that he had struggled earlier. He was trying to overpower guys with his fastball. He started using his other pitches more and trusting in them, getting a better feel of that, and that's been why he's been able to develop as this season has gone on.
Now, last year he pitched with the bone spur in his elbow and actually had a pretty good year, but he was feeling it, and then he got it taken care of, as David said. And you know, he's been quoted as saying that a lot of people told him it's going to take a while for you to feel right and have your fastball. And his last couple of starts in AAA, people say that's as close as he looked to last year. So who knows? I mean, maybe they're just applying a certain narrative to the fact why he wasn't effective in the year before he was.
Yeah, it comes down to control. His walk rate was up in the early part of the year.
Shadows taking hold on the field with the sun shining, as home plate now is in the shadows and the pitcher is in the sun.
It's not going to affect you yet, but in a 4 o'clock game, you know, if that sun comes out, which the blue skies are starting to show up, could be a factor here in a couple innings. Well, in the old days, this was almost impossible to pick up lefties as in a day game. They've actually tarped off an area out in center field where they don't allow people to sit anymore. And I tell you one thing, that was a tough place to pick up a baseball.
Chop to first. Bird steps on the bag, 2-way. Let's take a look at what he's done in the minors. 31-7, 2.33 from 2015 through last year. He had the offseason surgery to remove the bone spur in the right elbow. This year, in the first 14 starts, ERA 5.21. Last 7 starts, it's dropped to 3.06. Pitch is high. Two-run home run by Moreland. The scoring in this game, 2-0 Red Sox, bottom of the second. 2-0 on Leon.
Coney, you stressed it yesterday. I mean, you really have to concentrate bottom of the lineup here in Boston, because the top end of their lineup is so strong that you've got to get some outs before, so you can kind of get some wiggle room on Betts and Martinez, some of the guys that can really do a lot of damage against you.
Jackie Bradley Jr. has swung the bat much better as of late, but really got off to a slow start. Overall numbers. Still just hitting .214 on the year.
Paul mentioned that you have long at bats against the Red Sox, and although they hit home runs this year, they do not strike out a lot. They do put the ball in play.
Yeah, to your point, Michael, the lowest whiff rate percentage of all the swings and the ones that you swing and miss, they are the 3rd lowest in the big leagues. The Indians, Astros, Red Sox, Reds, and Braves are the top 5 teams that have the fewest amount of whiffs.
And all but the Reds are a playoff contention. And the Reds have played much better of late.
You look at this at bat, even from Leon down at the bottom of the order. I mean, if you're looking at 7, you're looking at the 8th pitch at this point. A couple foul balls, got behind in the count. But everybody capable, if you make a mistake, to hit a home run. Very dangerous team, because they're going to make you work every at bat.
Line drive right at Gregorius, and Adams slams his hand into his glove as he pitches a 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the third, 2-0 Red Sox. Congratulations to Miguel Andujar on being voted the Montefiore Doing More Player of the Week. 6 for 23, 2 of the 6 home runs, and he drove in 7 runs in the last 6 games. So congratulations to Andujar, who leads off here in the third against Ubaldi. If it wasn't for Andujar, the Yankees would have been no hit last night. Lone hit off the bat of Andujar, and it was a home run against Porcello.
Well, across the board, they're great numbers, obviously. I mean, he has been a big offensive force for the Yankees. 14 home runs, nearly 50 RBIs in the short time that he's been here. I'll tell you what, Coney, just look at 97 with it. It's not a straight fastball either.
Really, Ubaldi has looked good since he's come back off of his rehab from Tommy John surgery. Had 1 blowout, gave up 8 earned runs, I believe, against Minnesota a couple of starts ago, but for the most part, he's been pretty solid.
Swing and a miss. Andujar down on strikes.
Cody, you talked about it. He's using that cutter a lot more. And just watch the movement of this ball towards the end. I mean, that looks like one of those wiffle balls. It's just kind of sails away, but it's not a pitch that you pick up well. Over 29% this season. So a cutter, a very effective pitch for him.
It's a big difference. Huge jump in usage. Really a different looking pitcher. Ubaldi was always known for, and Yankee fans remember watching him pitch as a Yankee, that he threw hard, but it was kind of straight, and his fastball got hit a lot, got hit hard a lot. Nobody could kind of figure it out, and then StatCast came along and he had sort of a low ranked spin on his fastball, which means that it's easier to pick up, it's flatter, it doesn't have the life on it. And he's pitching away from his fastball now. He's found that cutter. Came up with a splitter with the Yankees that was pretty effective for him before he got hurt. It definitely looks like a completely different pitcher now in terms of his repertoire.
Ground ball is short. 2 away. When Ubaldi got hurt with the Yankees, he was about to become a free agent and was probably going to be cashing in at a pretty high rate. Throws hard, gives you a good start most of the times, and there's such a dearth of pitching, but then he blew out his elbow. And the Rays, what they did was they signed him up and paid him to rehab. And then when he came back, they took that investment and they turned it into Jalen Beeks, a left-handed pitcher from the Red Sox. So that was what they did. They rolled the dice on Ubaldi, and he said he appreciates them doing that. And now Ubaldi's going to be a free agent at the end of this year. And if he stays healthy, there will be money out there for him. Shane Robinson with a fly ball to right. Betts battling the sun, makes the play. And the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. Ubaldi is not allowed to hit over those 3 innings. 2-0 Red Sox. Yankees take on the Rays. It is cap night. First 20,000 guests in attendance. We're receiving Yankees cap courtesy of Cannon. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window. Yankees clubhouse shops. You call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. David Duchovny at the game. Scully's not here. He retired. Jackie Bradley Jr. against Chance Adams. Foul back. David, he's pounding the strike zone. He's not all over the place as if he was nervous, as you mentioned.
I agree. He's really comported himself very well in his major league debut in a very tough ballpark against a very good lineup.
Fly ball. Left center. Coming on Hicks and dives to make the play. Nice play by Aaron Hicks.
Wow, just watch the way he landed. Great play, great jump. A lot of times when it's wet, you get a nice little slide, kind of a slip and slide. Well, there was no slide here. Looked like he hit, stuck, and tumbled. It kind of hurts. Brought to you by Yesmo. Brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. But yeah, when you start rolling over there, that can beat up the body a little bit. Geez, Adams even noticed that, but I'll take the out, huh?
Betts takes inside.
It's where you usually feel like you have an advantage on a hitter, being ahead with 2 strikes. Betts such a good hitter that he just continues to stay out over the plate quick enough to get to the ball inside. Don't really see a constant way to get him out, Coney. Not one pitch here, one pitch there.
You know, you have to be careful on the inner half because he's so quick, especially in this ballpark. Mookie Betts has a, you know, you talk about tailor-made swing for Fenway.
Well, he works quickly. He just stays on the rubber looking for the sign, the pitch. He goes around and Betts down on strikes.
A tailing fastball up in the strike zone. Got Betts fishing up there. Good job.
Dad's enjoying the game so far, other than that Moreland at bat.
Romine wants it away. It kind of sails up and in, as you said, Paul, and that's a brand name to have for your first career Major League strikeout.
It's only leading the league in hitting, huh?
And a strike to Benintendi. Had that bloop single to center. First hit against Adams with 1 out in the first inning.
You mentioned it, Michael. There is no messing around. You love that he stays engaged with the rubber. He's been taught well. Work fast.
Right at Gregorius. The shift stole a hit away from Benintendi. Adams is retired 8 in a row following the home run by Moreland. We go to the 4th. Team together. How good is this Red Sox start? Let's look at it in a historical perspective. Starting in 1961, 98 Yankees have the best record after 111 games, then the 01 Mariners, last year's Dodgers, now this year's Red Sox, and then the Orioles. Red Sox are on pace for 112 wins. Audi scoreboard 2-0 Boston. Yankees start the 4th inning looking for their first hit. One man has reached base. Hicks walked. And there's a strike to Gardner, 1-1. Gardner popped up to second. That was in the first.
Well, if you need a silver lining to for the Yankee fans, which right now everybody's searching for something good, if you take 2 out of the 3 Are those best starts you just had on the thing? Seattle didn't win the World Series. Dodgers didn't win the World Series. The Yankee, the '98 team did, though. So it does not guarantee the type of year you have that you're going to win in the playoffs and win the World Series. Got to put a good run together when that time gets here, too.
And there's the first base hit for the Yankees as Gardner lines a single to right field.
First ball really hit hard in play off Ubaldi today. Brett Gardner got a cutter there that didn't really have as much movement as some of the earlier ones. Stanton had a tough at bat his first time up. See if he learned anything on that cut fastball more than the straight fastball that he's accustomed to seeing from Ubaldi.
Fly ball, right center. Bradley makes the play. Boy, it has turned into a beautiful day here in Boston. All the forecasts so dire. And you see the blue skies and the puffy clouds. The gray part is moving away from us.
Heading out to sea.
That's right. Looks like cotton balls pinned up against a light blue background. A little postcard action. Here's Gregorius. Ground ball second base. Let's see if they turn two. There's one on to first. It's a double play. So they erased the Gardner single with the 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. They just got Didi hustling down the line. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Baseball on Yes, brought to you in part by Heineken. Open your world. By People's United Bank, checking without curveballs, member FDIC. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on all models. Audi scoreboard, Boston 2-0 Yankees, and those 2 runs, the man at the plate right now. Moreland with a 2-run home run in the first inning. And since then, Adams has retired 8 straight Red Sox. Adams' motion, he gives you a little bit of number 43 looking at the batter, turns his back just a little bit.
I was talking to Coney as I was watching him warm up early in the game, and he has a quick motion. Once he gets going, boy, things happen very fast.
Yeah, very compact delivery. A little bit of a short arm action as well, which can create some deception.
Paul, how difficult is it for a hitter? Well, they obviously have scouting reports, but they've never seen them, to get comfortable against a pitcher they're seeing for the first time.
Yeah, your scouting report usually is in your head. When you face a guy, you have a much better idea.
Swing and miss.
To do, and a good pitch. A lot has to do with picking up the ball in the motion and things like that. Velocity can tell you some things, but you see, it's the second time he's thrown that fastball up in the strike zone, and it just took off, which is good.
Kind of hides the ball very well. That short arm action stays right behind him, and so you can't see the baseball until the release point. And his fastball up at the zone does play a little bigger than what we just saw, 91 to 93.
Martinez fouls it away.
You know, for a pitcher, it's really about extension. You know, if you can reach out there, if you have a longer stride and you really extend, then those are the fastballs that kind of are deceptive. They jump on the hitter. You release the ball closer to home plate.
Driven deep to left field. That ball is gone. Over the monster, a home run for Martinez. And it's 3-0 Boston.
It's a problem with this lineup right now. You can be cruising in it. One mistake, next thing you know, it's banging around out there in the light pole. Martinez's numbers so far, I mean, he's had some unbelievable years, but this is a career year this year. I mean, he's doing everything.
Well, Romine wants it in, and he sets up in. You see the glove. And just missed a bit out over the plate. And with Martinez, that's all it takes.
Wow.
Such a good fastball hitter. Really, this entire Red Sox team.
.33 home runs for Martinez, now leads the majors. Moving out of the tie with the Indians' Jose Ramirez. Pretty good free agent signing by the Red Sox. And this is a team that was without power last year. They ended up winning the American League East, but they did not hit home runs in a sport where home runs are king. And they've gotten the home runs back into their arsenal, and without that many strikeouts. They're trying to get the ball with the broom.
It's like wiffle ball. Got stuck on the roof, Paulie. You got to climb up there and go get it.
Like that might take a while.
Take a look at this home run on StatCast AI, powered by AWS.
Came in 92 and left at 104.4, and that launch angle is about what you want in the mid-20s, 390 feet.
Uh-oh. Perseverance. Go home with a baseball.
Yankees are certainly trying to avoid that being the only broom that comes out this weekend. They've lost the first 2 games of this 4-game set.
That J.D. Martinez home run has pushed Chance Adams off the plate a little bit now. All of a sudden, not quite as aggressive. That's normal, especially for any pitcher, but a young pitcher. He handled the first home run pretty well and stayed aggressive. Now all of a sudden walking Bogarts and falling behind here on Nunez.
So Romine notices that and he goes out and talks.
It's the worst thing you can have when you're on the mound is you think you have to be perfect with every pitch. You know, you just gave up a homer and you're doubting yourself. It's like, wow, I got to hit the corner now with everything. And then he starts missing.
You feel like every mistake is going to be out of the ballpark. It seems like that this series, but you know, he has gone through that stretch of being aggressive where he was making good quality pitches.
And there's a strike. And you could see that Rothschild and Boone are starting to talk, well, when do we get somebody up? Let's not push it that much. We'll get what we can get. And still, at this point, nobody's up. Rothschild was studying the lineup. Three and one on Nunez, who grounded to short. That was in the second. Where it goes. Foul back.
Alex Cora certainly has his trademark aggressiveness on this team.
Where it goes. Foul back again.
You see Nunez, a free swinger. Ball way in off the plate, still hacking at it.
Long looking for the sign. Nunez steps out.
And to your point, Paul, Nunez just 13 walks in 92 games this year.
Another foul ball.
Bogart's had a few nights off, but all of a sudden you just keep running and running and running. It almost becomes comical. But Nunez extending the bat by fouling off pitch after pitch.
Another foul ball. Bogarts goes. Ground ball is short. There's one. And there's two. A nice turn. Gregorius to Torres to Bird to get Nunez despite the runner going. Dad likes it. So do the Yankees. battling for first place. Should be fun. And we go to the 5th inning, and it is 3-0 Boston on the GMC scoreboard. Yankees have 1 hit, a single by Gardner, leading off the 4th. Here's Hicks. He's the other Yankee base runner. He walked both of those base runners. They were erased via the double play. So, over 4 innings, Ubaldi has faced the minimum 12. Popped up. Bogarts makes the play, 1 away. So Romine and Chance Adams in the dugout. School still in session, as Adams got that double play to end the inning. What's that sign language for, David?
Well, he's talking about cutting off his pitches, that he gets much better carry when he takes it right through the glove. And you know, the home run to J.D. Martinez, he cut off a bit and it just drifted out over the plate, and then all the subsequent walk, he kind of started not really extending, as I talked before about extension right through the glove, and that's when you get maximum spin and better carry on your fastball.
Torres, right side. No one will get there. Holt with the slide.
A pretty impressive bat with Nunez. I mean, Nunez fouled off 4 or 5 consecutive pitches, and he stayed within the strike zone without walking him.
Holt is very slow to get back into position after that slide.
You slide in on that dirt, and sometimes it, you know, your knee kind of sticks a little bit and bangs it up a little bit. Mookie Betts no chance.
Holt really had no chance.
Yeah.
A little bit of eyewash on that slide. Ubaldi has shown such good control with that cutter that he's throwing there. Those are all cutters in the mid-90s. That one at 92. Both sides of the plate. Who's never really known for great control. He always had pretty good control, but only 8 walks so far this year and almost 70 innings.
Tough pitch to foul off right there, but I agree with you, Coney, what you said earlier, in that you would kind of scratch your head, because he would get in a fastball count and throw that fastball at 98, 99, and it got hit hard. And you don't see too many balls hit hard now at 94, 95, but with that cut motion on.
Ubaldi's 28 years old, and he comes from the same high school, Alvin High School in Texas, that produced Nolan Ryan. And if you're a Nolan Ryan fan, today holds some meaning, because back in 1993, one of the most viewed baseball brawls ever. A lot of pictures out there of it, signed by Nolan. Nolan Ryan gave Robin Ventura noogies on the mound.
You know you're big in the game when you can hit a guy, he charges him out, you headlock him, punch him 15 times, you don't even get thrown out of the game.
Fly ball shallow center. Coming on is Bradley. 2-away. Well, Robin Ventura has laughed about this and said this was not a good idea by him. He thought about it, so let me go.
Look at this.
Coney, do you think that deserves an ejection there?
Yeah.
He ended up pitching after that.
Yeah, that's
So as we mentioned,
a whole different set of rules.
Wow, there was a name from the past. That was Bo Jackson.
There's a ground ball. Great play by Holt. And he took a base hit away from Bird. The Red Sox are doing everything right in these first 3 games as the Yankees go down in order 1, 2, 3. We're halfway through. It's 3-0 Boston. Fargo, one more game against the Red Sox. It's tomorrow night. You can see it on ESPN. Yankee extra innings on Yes right after that. Then the Yankees are on to Chicago to play the White Sox Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. All 8-10 starts East Coast, and those will be on Yes. Then the Texas Rangers come to town. 2 night games and 2 day games. Chance Adams, his major league debut. He has given up a couple of home runs, accounting for 3 runs. He's down 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, the bottom third of the order. And Chad Green is up for the Yankees in their pen. GMC scoreboard 3-3-0, leading 0-1-0. You know, very rarely does everything go right for a team. There are so many components of a game, and something can go awry. But in these 3 games against the Yankees, Red Sox have played close to flawless baseball, making every play in the field, turning every double play they need to make. And even the tough plays, they're just putting it away and doing their job.
Yeah, there's something to be said about a good team, and then a good team with confidence, and that looks like that's what they have. There is a point when you're the Yankees that you got to quit wondering, you know, how your rookie's going to pitch, and you got to try to solve Nathan Ubaldi and get on the board at some point. But Ubaldi has been nasty so far with that cut fastball.
Yeah, Michael, it's a good point. It looks like the Red Sox came in with an intention. They're going to be aggressive. They're going to run the bases. They're going to steal. They're going to push the envelope. And they really have executed very well in that regard.
Fly ball left field off the bat of Holt. Gardner's there, 1 away. Yankees have scored 1 run in their last 14 innings. They had 1 hit last night. That was the Andujar home run. And they have 1 hit today, the Gardner single. And Ubaldi has faced the minimum 15 batters over 5 innings. Here's Sandy Leon. Drops a breaking ball in there for a strike, 77 miles an hour. Grounded foul.
Pretty good separation. You know, we've seen a couple of change-ups from Chance Adams. But mostly it's that curveball in the upper 70s that gives him separation and top end and low end velocity.
Defensive swing, fouling it off. Still 1-2. I guess there's an art to it, Paul, but a lot of spoil swings by the Red Sox.
You know what? It's just time after time, and it's just not 1 or 2 guys. It's the whole lineup, and it's just.
Boy, the Yankee shift has really worked today, as Gregorius has taken away 3 base hits all by himself. Let's take a look at the injury report for the Yankees. Brought to you by Montefiore Doing More. So no Aaron Judge. He's on the 10-day DL, right wrist fracture. Now against Boston this year, 4 home runs, 9 ribbies, a .455 average. Gary Sanchez, right groin strain, also 10-day DL. And against Boston this season, .286, 2 homers, and 8 runs batted in. So some significant firepower missing. Pitch to Bradley is outside. Also on the injury front, Jay Happ is expected to make his start on Thursday. So he'll come off the DL with the hand, foot, mouth disease and make his start against the Texas Rangers at Yankee Stadium in New York.
Yeah, It was such a shame that that happened, because I mean, one of the reasons you signed J-Happ is because he pitched so well against the Red Sox and was scheduled to throw in this series.
Hit sharply to second base. And Chance Adams works a 1-2-3 fifth inning. He's given the Yankees 5. And the Yankees, though, as we go to the 6th, they're trailing 3-0. Adams, and Mike Harkey gets the phone call out in the bullpen. He tells the reliever, you are going in, and then the starter gets the word, your day is over. So 5 innings, 3 runs, 2 home runs, and Chance Adams has nothing to be embarrassed about. That's as I said, a credible start. And David, we've seen young pitchers implode against lesser Red Sox teams. This is not an easy place to pitch.
Not at all. I thought he showed good composure, especially getting banged around in the first inning, giving up a 2-run homer.
Line drive right field as Andujar picks up a leadoff single.
Really comes down to 2 pitches for Chance Adams today. The slider that hung in the first inning, and then a fastball that he didn't quite get into the major league leader in home runs this year.
As I look back at the way he went about his business today, is when he fell behind in the counts, he was not scared to come after guys with fastballs, and you know that shows some guts. And obviously he'd like to have 5 shutout innings, but it didn't work out that way. But I agree with you, Michael. I don't think that you know, it's anything to be embarrassed of. And again, the Yankees have to figure out Ubaldi now. You know, they're in this game, but you've got to figure out how to score some runs. What is 14, 15 innings now that you haven't put up any runs?
How about this, Paul? 13 of the last 14 innings. So there's this game and yesterday. The Yankees have sent the minimum 3 batters to the plate.
Yeah, that's you just are not accustomed to seeing that in Fenway Park.
Fly ball right field as Romine is retired. I mean, there are a litany of names, baseball fans, Yankee fans of a certain age, that have not performed well here. Ken Clay, Jim Beattie, who, you know, those type of performances are what spurred George Steinbrenner to come up with the phrase "spit the bit." Chance Adams did not spit the bit. Chance Adams came in here, felt good about his stuff, threw strikes, gave up home runs, a couple of home runs to a team that is the top scoring team's runs per game in the majors. So 3 runs on 5 innings. It's not perfect, but he's given the Yankees a chance to win the game.
He could conceivably have been run out there for the 6th inning. His pitch count was still in good shape. Aaron Boone decided to go with Green, who's warmed up and ready.
You know, I know you can't do this and put a pitcher on a certain day that you want, but you put him in game one where they scored 4 runs early. You're still winning this game, and it just all of a sudden now the Yankee offense has not been able to solve the Red Sox pitching. That's why I think that game one was so important, when you come out and score 4 quick runs and end up just getting your brains beat in before the night's over.
Ground ball to short. There's one, and they will not get 2. As Robinson reaches on the fielder's choice. So unless Robinson gets picked off here, Ubaldi will not face the minimum 18 over 6 innings. Three 0 Red Sox. We are in the 6th. Here's Gardner. He's singled in the 4th inning.
And Gardner needs to have one of those Gardner type at bats and find a way to get on base and give Stanton a chance with one swing to tie this thing up. The Yankees' best chance is a bloop and a blast, just like the Red Sox did in the 1st inning. Good job by Ubaldi there. You know the Gardner's you're going to try to work and get on. He throws it right down the middle to get ahead 0-1. As a pitcher, you kind of sense when hitters are going to spot you a strike, and that's the time to go get it. Get a lot of plate with your fastball.
And a strike.
And it's just changing the movement of the ball, and still at 92 it plays so much harder with that cut on it.
Great control of it as well. And rarely do you see a pitcher come up with a new pitch like that and have such good command of it and throw it a ton.
Did he go? No, said Adam Hamari.
You got to agree there, not even close.
Two and two. Still 2 and 2.
He fell down 0-2 and really grinding out. Got back to 2-2. Tough pitch there. He fouled off. That's one thing you can always count on from Brett Gardner, to give you a quality at bat. Find a way. Battle.
That one is looped to third. Nunez is there, and Ubaldi wins that battle. No runs a hit, no errors, 1 man left. Yankee offense continues to sputter.
Well, Chance Adams, his major league debut, first inning. Uh-oh, he hung a slider to Moreland, who made him pay. His first major league strikeout, brand name, Mookie Betts. Got Moreland the next time. Then J.D. Martinez beat him to the punch on a fastball in. It'll make you shake your head. But all in all, wait, the kid showed some moxie. He showed some composure. Made his old man proud. Did a good job today for the Yankees. He should be very proud of his work today. And an emergency spot start for the Yankees. And really, he's got him in this ball game. You know, if the Yankees had any offense at all or can mount anything, he did his job.
And the Yankees make the call to the bullpen, which is brought to you by Planet Fitness. Brings on Chad Green. Top of the order for Green, starting with Mookie Betts. But before anything happens in this inning, should he have come out to pitch the sixth?
Well, I think that you want to leave on a good note. That's about as good as you could be. But I mean, you want to get your veteran pitchers in there. I wouldn't have had a problem if he did go back out there, though, huh, Cunny?
No, easily could have. You know, he had 83 pitches, so he definitely could have easily gone one more. Sounds to me like Aaron Boone and Larry Rothschild had a pre-planned idea. If we get him through 5, then we know we're going to go to Green, and we got our bullpen rested.
Well, this is the meat of the order, too. You know, bottom of the order, you probably send him back out, but you know, you've got Betts leading off. You want one of your top guys trying to shut them down here in the 6th.
Changes everything. It's the thing about when you have your best hitters at the top of the order, and Mookie Betts easily could be a 3 or a 4 hitter by old school, you know, lineup construction. But every time the lineup rolls over, he leads the way.
And Mookie Betts swings and misses, one away.
There's that extension you talk about, Coney, and extending through. You get that life high in the strike zone. The league's best hitter. Throw it right by him.
This is where Green's fastball plays up. Above the belt, letter high, even higher. Difference between last year and this year, not a lot from Chad Green, other than they're hitting the balls harder and his command's been a little off, leaving a few too many fastballs over the middle and down. We've talked a lot about Green needing to adjust back to the league.
One and one. So now A.J. Cole is up. Popped up on the left side. Long run for Andujar and Gardner, but it makes the seats. Chop towards second. Gleyber Torres will get Benintendi.
Really good sequence there for Green. A couple of changeups, which are rare for him. And got Benintendi way out in front on that last one. I think that's a good pitch for him to develop against left-handed batters. And we talked about Green needing to make adjustments, but a rare changeup. And watch the movement down and away, and Benintendi definitely not looking for it, just way out in front. It's a good weapon for him to have.
Moreland lost one foul into the upper deck in left field. Moreland struck a big blow in the first inning, a 2-run home run off of Chance Adams. Yankees shift to the lefty hitter. 3 infielders on the right side. And a strike. That was 97 miles an hour. And the fast pitch speed analytics sponsored by Fios by Verizon. And down goes Moreland. An impressive 1-2-3 inning for Chad Green. We're taking it to the 7th. It is 3-0 Red Sox. NYCFC hosts the Vancouver Whitecaps as City looks to stay unbeaten this season at Yankee Stadium. Coverage begins at 8, presented by Etihad Airways, right here on Yes, and streaming on Fox Sports Go. We go to the 7th. Giancarlo Stanton leads off and takes a strike. Strikes have been what the Red Sox are throwing over the last 2 games. I'm going to throw numbers at you. First, I'll tell you the Cadillac scoreboard shows the Red Sox up 3-0. Here are the pitches by inning by Porcello last night and Ubaldi. 13, 10, 11, 10, 8, 10, 8, 9, 8, 11, 13, 9, 6, 11, 12. Not even a 15-pitch inning.
It's amazing. Yeah, Coney said that's kind of the average that you're looking at is 15.
That is a rope to left field. That is going to go into the corner and up against the wall as Stanton picks up a double.
You got to run in scoring position, and at some point you got to figure out, we're in dire need of trying to tie this game up. But back to your point, Michael, I mean, that's what, 16, 15 consecutive innings of stressless pitching. And it just, believe me, the Yankees are trying. They're not just going up there and going through the motions. This has been unbelievable baseball that you've seen so far by the Red Sox.
Now, last night's game was such a fast game. That's why you get a fast game. They're not throwing a lot of pitches. Here's Gregorius with a runner on second, nobody out.
Porcello's always had some of the best control since he's been in the big leagues. And Ubaldi, with his new wrinkle of a cutter with such good control, he's got a chance as well to give them innings, go deeper into games. Ubaldi is a great pickup for the Red Sox because he balances out their rotation with all those left-handed starters that they've had. Now they have him and Porcello to balance out Sale and Rodriguez.
MLB At Bat is your #1 Yankees app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Yankees home screen icons and features such as the MLB.tv Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
It's easy to look at this Yankee offense and say they're flat. What's wrong? That last pitch was 93 and moved about 8 inches.
I said that looked like a Mariano Rivera cutter right there. I mean, it was mid-90s, and at the end, it moved about a foot.
Well, there's some. You got to give credit to the pitchers when they make really good pitches. And Porcello's made a lot of pitches last night. And folks, you try to hit this. This is 93 miles an hour, and look at that. And Paulie's right. That's Mariano Rivera-like. Looked like it was right down the middle, and the next thing you know, it's off of Didi's thumbs.
Wow.
It's a high-quality pitch.
Sky-high pop-up, right side. Moreland makes the play. One away.
You know, when you ask, well, why doesn't everybody throw the cutter? And that's what's kind of amazing, that kind of a new pitch for him. That cutter, when it spins, is a very hittable pitch, and you can make a lot of mistakes with it. But as you watch Ubaldi today, has not made mistakes with it. And if he misses, it's breaking too much inside on the lefties.
Pitching like this on this mound must mean a lot to Ubaldi, because this is where he got hurt. On this mound on August 10th, 2016, that's where the elbow finally gave out. He made a start for the Yankees against the Red Sox. And the odd thing was he throwing hard that day, but there was just something that was wrong on the elbow, so he had a second Tommy John surgery. First one was as a junior in high school. So he returned from that TJ surgery May 30th of this year, pitched 6 hitless innings in Oakland in his first major league appearance since that time on the mound with the Yankees. That one is ripped into center field. Right there is Bradley. 2 down.
You see the total frustration on Aaron Hicks. I mean, you do everything you can to square it up and just hammer a line drive. Just had Bradley in center field.
Heath Hembry is up. Stanton at second base is the Yankees' first runner in scoring position since the 9th inning on Thursday. Just 1 hit and a hit batter yesterday. The 1 hit was a home run, so he scored but wasn't in scoring position. And today, Stanton's double. That's the first one since Thursday. Gleyber Torres takes a strike. We're in the 7th inning, each team with 3 hits, but the Red Sox have a 3-0 lead. Runner at second, 2 men out. And Ubaldi deals. Misses outside. 1-1. Brian Johnson started on Thursday, lasted 5 innings, didn't pitch that great. Remember, he gave the Yankees 4 runs in an inning and a half. Yesterday, it was Porcello with a gem. And now Ubaldi pitching very well through 6 2/3. Tomorrow, David Price will get the start against Masahiro Tanaka on Sunday Night Baseball. That's the breakdown of the 74 pitches for Ubaldi. Two and two.
Pitch number 76 coming from Ubaldi here in the 7th inning.
Boyle.
See the difference in that cut fastball from his heater. 98 to 93. 93 still hard, but 98 up in the strike zone. So he is pitching so much smarter now. He's learned that new pitch. I think we've seen a split finger all day, have we, Tony?
Maybe one or two.
Swing and miss. Torres down on strikes. A leadoff double is wasted. No runs a hit. One man left. 7th inning stretch here at Fenway. 3-0 Sox. All right, thank you guys, but they are running out of time. They have 6 more outs to make it up. Time for the game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 3-3-0, leading 0-3-0. Chance Adams won 5 in his major league debut. Nathan Ubaldi still in there, 7, 3 hits, a walk and 3 strikeouts. And the scoring, the 2-run home run by Moreland and a solo home run by J.D. Martinez, all against the rookie Chance Adams. Now the Yankees go to A.J. Cole as Chad Green worked a 1-2-3 6th inning. This will be Cole's 15th game of the year. 30 strikeouts in 23 innings, 14 hits, 7 walks, so that gives you a whip under 1. He'll face Martinez. And a strike. One and one. Cadillac scoreboard, 3-0 Boston over the Yanks. Game 3 of this 4-game set. Two and one. Three and one on Martinez. Martinez, first year of a 5-year, $109.95 million deal. He signed it in February. to the seats from. It's amazing that the Astros, who haven't made many mistakes in the last couple of years, they released J.D. Martinez at the end of spring training in 2014. But the Tigers had a third base coach, Dave Clark, who had coached Martinez in Houston. And they pushed the front office to pick up J.D. Martinez. The rest history. Fly ball right field. Robinson makes the play. Now a quick word from Spectrum.
Spectrum Internet. No data caps, no contracts. Just faster speeds with better performance.
So Martinez is 1 for 3. That'll bring up Bogaerts. Strike. Well, you know how the Yankees feel about Cole. They don't have an option on him. They can't send him down. They don't want to lose him. So rather than even try to send him down, now Romine's going to go out and talk with him. They traded Shreve. They traded Warren because they didn't have options either. And by doing those moves, what they did was they doubled down on A.J. Cole, how much they believe in him. They have control of him through next year. So they like what they see.
Still just 26 years old. Actually made the Nationals rotation out of spring training. He was their 5th starter. There's the difference. The Yankees have him throwing a lot more sliders. Larry Rothschild worked with him on it. He's been very successful with it. Pitching away from his fastball, throwing a lot more breaking stuff and off speed.
Swing and a miss. Bogaerts down on strikes. This chiropractic telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Well, we've seen relievers and their numbers can really get skewed in a matter of about 10 minutes. You have a bad day or a bad inning. This is A.J. Cole's 15th game as a Yankee.
Again, the Red Sox flailing this inning as Nunez swings and misses. 3-0 Boston. 2 in the first, 1 in the fourth, and that's the only scoring in this game. All zeros up for the Yanks.
.23 innings so far for Cole, working into his 24th coming into this game. 30 strikeouts in 23 innings, 7 walks and a 1.57 ERA.
Now, although they're trailing, the fact that Boone puts him in this game, where they're trying to keep it right here and their offense is stalled, shows you how he has risen in the bullpen ranks. Base hit right field for Nunez. Now, we mentioned it obviously in the pregame show with Bob and Jack and Meredith, but the Yankees, to make room for Chance Adams on the 25-man, they sent down Tommy Kahnle, who actually pitched very well, returning from Scranton in last night's game. So I think you'll see him back as soon as they can get him up here. Barring an injury, he has to go down for at least 10 days. Both Kahnle and Chance Adams made that 5-hour drive from Moosic, Pennsylvania yesterday when told they were being called up. Weather surrounding the area, they couldn't get out in the plane, so they just got in the car and drove. No stolen bases for the Red Sox today. We mentioned earlier, 13 for 13 against the Yankees this year, 5 for 5 in the series.
You do see a conscious effort today from the Yankee pitching staff to keep the runners close. 5 for 5 going in this series. So they were basically just taking off when they wanted to.
Yeah, all the running leads, walking leads rather. The best thing you can do is just make them stop. Hold the ball on the mound, make sure that they're not taking advantage, and that's what we saw the first couple of games. And that's really on everybody. Somebody on the bench has got to see that as well. You got to stop them.
Oh, 2. Base hit right field. Moving to second is Nunez, so back-to-back 2-out singles.
Well, now with Ian Kinsler on the DL after a hamstring issue last night, Brock Holt's going to be leaned on a little more, and he's done a pretty good job for them this year.
Here's Leon. Line, just foul. Oh, that would have done damage. Just foul.
Pretty much would have put an end to this game right here. I mean, this is such a big out. You cannot afford to give these guys any more runs. Called 2 quick outs, and then all of a sudden now they own up with an opportunity to drive in another.
Well, they're going to challenge. They have a replay that says it was fair.
I like the challenge. If I'm on Boston's side, why not take a chance?
Yeah.
If you saw something, you know, it's kind of like Wimbledon. You're looking for chalk flying. The umpire's got a great view of it. Well, I don't know how you overturn it. I mean, it was right there. If anything, just barely a little bit of chalk. I don't think you can have a much better view than what the umpire had right there.
Yeah.
It's only about 15 feet away from it when he made the call. Adam Hamari, third base umpire today, after working home plate last night.
It's funny, Leon does not.
They've got to look for chalk flying up. We blew that picture up. That's the best look we have of it.
I don't blame Cora for challenging, but I don't see anything conclusive there.
Yeah, that divot right there looks like it's foul. Leon walking back to the plate looked like he wasn't expecting anything.
I don't know how you overturn that.
Yeah.
So this one is under review as the Red Sox challenging.
And if it were overturned, then it'd be the umpire's judgment on where to place the base runners. If that ball scoots down the line, then 2 runs probably would have easily scored on that, especially with Brock Holt running at first.
So an agonizing wait for the Yankees. You know, the way their offense has disappeared, they can't afford to add a couple more runs to the mountain they have to climb. This is one more new look. Doesn't seem to be any chalk coming up.
I just don't understand, unless they've got a different view, how you could overturn that when the ball was called foul.
By a very close umpire with a very good view.
That's why it's taking the time that it's taking. You know, they're looking for something that would cause the Red Sox to challenge. It's obviously an eyelash between a fair ball and a foul ball. That's how close it was. But remember, the initial call is foul. Let's see. They're about to take the headsets off. And they're saying it's a double. And they're moving a runner to third. And that means a run will score. So Leon gets a double, and it is 4-0 Red Sox as they overturned it in downtown Manhattan.
And the umpire's judgment will put Brock Holt at third. Obviously, you assume the double off the bat. So only 1 run in, but yeah, wow, that's as close as it gets, and I'm surprised that it was overturned.
So now 2nd and 3rd. So that's a big blow for the Yankees, that overturn. As this is all happening with 2 outs against Cole. And Romine is going to talk with Cole. And you see Cora saluting his video guy. He points inside the hallway and tips his cap. There was a strike. Bottom of the 7th inning, it is 4-0 Yankees. Red Sox have 6 hits. 3 of them have come with 2 outs in this inning against Cole. High fly ball. Center field. Hicks is there to make the play, and that'll do it. But 1 big run, 3 hits, 1 big challenge, 1 big overturn. We go to the 8th. download speeds and better performance.
All the way back to the first inning, a slider from Adams. They go a long way when you leave them over the part of the plate. I know I gave up over 250 of those kind of home runs. And
not that you remember.
Almost every one.
Bird takes a strike from Ubaldi. We go to the 8th inning. It's 4-0 Red Sox on the Hyundai scoreboard. Just a tour de force by Ubaldi up to this point. You can't ask for much more.
I'll tell you what, it's been one of the most cleanly played, I mean, good series from a team I've seen. And let's fast forward all the way up into October. And let's say, you know what, the Yankees are somewhere or another going to be in the playoffs. The Red Sox are going to be in the playoffs. That's just the way it's going to be. You will not see more breaks, more things go well for a team than you've seen from the Boston Red Sox in this series. So maybe they're using them all up.
Fly ball left field. Benintendi back on the track. He makes the play in front of the monster. One away.
Well, there's no doubt the Red Sox are a good all-around team. They do a lot of things well, running the bases, defense. Ubaldi's a great pickup for them. If you're the Yankees, you're almost looking in the rearview mirror a little bit now at Oakland.
Sure.
You never give up or concede anything. But you certainly, you know, objects that appear in your rearview mirror may be closer than they seem. Well, the Oakland A's are closer than they seem right now to the Yankees.
It's not like, okay, all right, we'll play the season out and then go from there. I mean, you've got to win games. I mean, there's other teams out there battling that are going to continue to win games. And you're going to go through a good streak. You might throw up 10 in a row or something and find yourself right back in this East. But right now, I mean, these guys, the Boston Red Sox, are playing their best baseball.
Coming into this game, the Yankees had a 4.5 game lead over those hot Oakland A's for the home field advantage in the wild card game. Six in the loss column.
There's a wild card standing, so A's picked up a game on the Yankees with yesterday's results, so they're 6 back in the loss column. The first 2 teams will be the wild cards, but the team on the top will host that game on October 3rd. Three and 2 on Andujar. He has one of the Yankees' 3 hits. He's 1 for 2. In his last 21 games, now 22 including this one, Andujar 27 hits in 76 at bats. So that's over 350. This kid continues to impress. That one is ripped to center field. Going back is Bradley. 2 away. Well, he has a nonchalance about him out there and doesn't really make anything look hard. In fact, he makes it look almost too easy.
Yeah, it's a big ball to the ballpark. You don't have to worry about running into the wall back there. He's got such great instincts as an outfielder and speed. That's why when he got off to that horrible start, they still felt like he was a huge part of this team, just what he does defensively.
You can make the argument, you know, that this is the best defensive outfield the Red Sox have ever had. And, you know, Fred Lynn was great. Dwight Evans was great in right back in the 70s, and the Yankee fans know that. But as far as range, covering all that outfield ground, Mookie Betts in right as a center fielder. Benintendi in left as a center fielder, skill set wise. You got the triangle to cover out there, all the configurations here. Those 3 cover more ground than anybody that's ever played for the Red Sox.
Romine fouls it away. 1-2. That was a 100-mile-an-hour fastball with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Somewhere a doctor is smiling that performed that Tommy John surgery.
Working on his second straight scoreless start since coming over in the trade to the Red Sox.
I have something weird about his delivery there. I think he got kind of caught out of sequence or something.
Starting to smell it and rushing a little bit. You can see he just rushes right through that a little too much. And knew it right away.
Strike 3. Romine down looking. Yankees go down in order. 1-2-3. In the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning at Fenway Park in Boston. And the Red Sox lead the Yankees 4-0 here on Yes. Back to Yes for Yankees Extra Innings postgame show. Then on Monday night, Yankees will be in the Windy City to take on All-Star Jose Abreu and the Chicago White Sox. Coverage begins at 7:30 with the Chevy pregame right here on Yes and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Mookie Betts leads off. A.J. Cole still out there, and there's the strike. Hyundai scoreboard 4-0. Boston in front. Boston looking to take the first 3 games of this 4-game set. Kimbrel up. Mookie Betts is Marcus Lynn Betts, and he gets the name Mookie because his parents like watching Mookie Blaylock, the basketball player. Has nothing to do with the Mets' Mookie Wilson.
Maybe Mookie Blaylock's parents like Mookie Wilson.
Crowd chanting MVP. After the game last night, remember Mookie Betts was moved back on the first pitch by Severino. Cora very defensive and said, you don't throw at the best player in baseball and throw at his head. But if you looked at a replay of that, that was not at his head.
No, and it sailed on him. It had some movement. You know, it looked like Severino had some intent to bust him inside hard. It kind of sailed a little bit.
Swing and a miss. So Betts has struck out 3 times today. He's 0 for 4.
Show him in early and then try to finish him off, and a very hard hitter to finish off, but he got him to swing at a slider outside the strike zone.
Here's the pitch that set it all off last night. That was really at his shoulder. But you can't blame Betts for going down. He's diving in, but that was not, as everybody said, at his head. Well, tempers were short. And Boone said before the game today, said it's over. He said it will not have a carryover at all. And so far we've seen nothing that would indicate that it did have a carryover. And also Severino said something that resonated with a lot of people. He said, if I wanted to hit somebody, I wouldn't miss.
I thought it was the greatest quote out there. You know, if I got an intention to bust somebody off the plate, that's part of pitching. If I want to hit you, I'll hit you, and I won't miss. And that's basically saying, you know what? I didn't try to hit anybody.
Swing and a miss. Benintendi down on strikes. And now a quick word from Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center.
Memorial Sloan Kettering, changing how the world treats cancer for over 130 years.
So that'll bring up Moreland.
As with yesterday when Porcello was dealing and Kimbrel was up, I mean, do you even go to the bullpen here? Or are these guys just getting their work in because you're going to get another complete game? I mean, Ubaldi shows no signs that he's starting to lose it.
93 pitches Ubaldi has right now.
Season high 102.
Oh, he's done.
That's usually an indication.
Yeah, that game phase is over. See ya. I'm heading in to get some ice.
Three and one.
I don't think you can deny that Dave Dombrowski's made some pretty good trades and signings. J.D. Martinez was a good decision. He was out there to be had by anybody, just as a free agent. And the offseason market was a little slow, and it looked like Boston wasn't going to get it done. They circled back, and he got it done, and it looks like a great sign. And also, you know, if you think about even recently, Kinsler, now Ubaldi trade. Kinsler's on the DL. But he really broke in nicely and fits a hole at second base for them when he gets back. But Ubaldi, obviously, nice trade so far.
See Tony La Russa there on the left, also part of some of the decisions going on in this organization.
There's no denying that Dave Dombrowski deserves a lot of credit right now. He's pushed the right buttons, made the right deals. Time you sign a free agent in the offseason and he's a contender for the MVP, it makes the GM look pretty good.
And Moreland works a walk. And also looks like Dombrowski's treating this like Wimbledon, a little strawberries and cream there between pitches. So a walk to Moreland. You know, we saw it last inning. 2 quick outs. then 2 hits. And although AJ calls out a very nice season, you've got well-rested guys out there, and you let Sandy Leon get a really big double. And now it's 2 outs, and you've got maybe the favorite for the MVP at the plate, and you're going to let Cole face him. Again, nobody's up in the Yankee bullpen. And the way their offense is, you can't let them score more than 4 runs. So they're betting on Cole rather than going to Patansis or Britton or Robertson or Chapman. Okay, they're rested, but you got to use them at some point.
Yeah, I'd be looking to get Britton more reps because I feel like he's continuing to build up strength after spending, you know, most of the year on the DL.
And you used to always want to get true sinker ballers in as much as you could. The more they throw, the more that ball sinks. And Britton, you know, he is a velocity guy, but he also has tons and tons of sinking movement on his fastball.
You know, we saw him struggle with his command a couple of outings ago, so that just shows me he needs more work. He's a guy that's so valuable. You want him to keep building and get him some more reps anytime you can.
One and two.
It is without a doubt, you know, and we've talked about it up here in the booth, and we've made our opinions known. But for any major league manager now, the most important job is how to handle your pitching staff with the expanded bullpens and all the data for 3rd time through the order. How long do you stay with a starter? Which relievers to use? High leverage situations. It's clearly the most important job a manager has nowadays.
Still 1 and 2.
And being challenged. You know, we just saw Tony La Russa was kind of the architect of the 7th inning, 8th inning, and 9th inning guy and 1 inning guys, and that's been challenged nowadays. It's more about high leverage. When, you know, if it's a 6th inning, bring that guy in. I think it's 1st and 2nd.
You wouldn't be scared to bring him in at any point.
Close game. When do you use your best assets from the bullpen as a manager?
Swing and a miss. So Martinez down on strikes. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Cole. We go to the 9th inning. Yankees are trailing 4-0. Stick around for the WB Mason postgame as Bob and Jack bring you highlights and analysis of today's game, including an in-depth look at the key moments. Plus, Meredith will get all the reactions from the clubhouse. It's only on Yes. We go to the 9th inning, and the Yankees will have to face the closure for the Red Sox. Not a save situation, so a 4-run lead in the 9th inning, but they want him to get his 3 outs. 33 of 36 in the save opportunities he's had. 64 strikeouts in 45 innings, and Neil Walker will pinch hit for Shane Robinson. So great job by Nathan Ubaldi, and now they call on Kimbrel to get the final 3. And a strike.
Nathan Ubaldi's made 2 starts for the Red Sox since coming over. He's pitched 15 innings, given up 7 hits, walked 1 and struck out 9, and a whole lot of goose eggs.
Oh and 2. Foul back. So the big concern today was Chance Adams, his first big league start, and he did okay. He gave up 3 runs in 5 innings. He did not look at all scared on the mound. Threw strikes, worked quickly, victim of a couple of home runs. But even just 1 run up to this point would have done the job. The Yankee offense completely stalled. 1 run yesterday against Porcello. A shutout over 8 innings by Ubaldi here on the Saturday afternoon. Now Kimbrel will try to keep those zeros coming.
It's a good point, Michael. For a 23-year-old, I thought he really handled himself well.
You give up a 2-run home run in the first inning in your first start. You know, things could really get out of hand with this team. And, you know, he found the strike zone. He showed that he wasn't scared and gave him a shot. But again, Nathan Ubaldi, as nasty as I've ever seen him with that new cut fastball.
There were reports coming from opposing hitters that had faced Ubaldi this year that said the same thing. It was sort of, wow. This guy looks like a different pitcher. He is nasty, tough to pick up the ball, and
getting away from the 98 all the way to the split finger and just, you know, kind of getting different movement on the fastball has helped him with his control too, because he was all over the strike zone today.
Strike 3, Walker down looking. He does not like that call. And Phil Cuzzy tells him keep walking as Neil Walker looked back at the home plate umpire.
another look. Walker's got a legitimate beef. Ball's outside. And Cuzzy probably knows it. Maybe that's why he reacted that way.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You know what?
There's no reason to chase a player back to the bench like that.
The ball's outside. You made the mistake, and now you're going to flip your mask off and scream and yell? Okay.
You know which umpires have the short fuse.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Here's Brett Gardner. Oh and 1. Gardner 1 for 3. Oh and 2 on Gardner. Tanaka will start tomorrow night against David Price. At this point, it looks like he'll be starting to try to avoid a sweep. Strike 3, Gardner down looking. And he doesn't like the call. We'll take a look at that one too. Pretty close. It's low, but it's very close.
He lets Gardner have a little more say and a little more of a emotional reaction. And Gardner got his point across. Borderline at best. Walker was the worst call.
Stanton with a big cut. Yankees down to their final out. Sellout crowd at Fenway, many standing. Check swing, did he go? He didn't even check, he said he went. The count is 0-2. Yankees down to their final strike in what is becoming a lost weekend in New England. One and two.
Almost the same pitch Severino threw to Mookie Betts right there.
Trying to handle it well. Didn't even look out there.
Fly ball, center field. That is going to be a base hit. It gets past Bradley. Then bobbled by Bradley, and Stanton has his second double of the day. It keeps the Yankees alive.
See that emotion, and that's because of the pitch before. You know, to be able to come back and put a good swing on a pitch like that, I mean, those are impressive in bats. Even at a 4-0 game with 2 outs in the 9th, you really respect guys that come back after that and put on a swing like this and just lace one dead center field. Good job by Stanton.
So Stanton has half of the Yankee hits. They have 4 hits. He has a couple of doubles. And here's Gregorius.
It's another ho-hum, 109 miles an hour off the bat. Another missile from Giancarlo.
One and 0. That one is ripped to right field, giving Chase his bets. He can't get there. It's going to go to the wall. Stanton will score easily. Gregorius stops at second with an RBI double. Yankees finally get on the board. Still a pulse, and it's 4-1 Boston.
There's a couple of guys you really respect in that Yankee lineups, and there's 2 quality at bats right there. Stanton, Gregorius. Kind of a cut fastball and just kind of spun right there. DG just hammers it to right.
Here's Aaron Hicks. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. And the pitch. 1-0. Hicks gets on. That brings up Gleyber Torres as the tying run.
That's the goal if you're on the Yankee side. Get this guy to the plate with a chance.
Two and 0.
A home run means nothing right here. I think you have to take a pitch. You're Aaron Hicks. With a guy with this good of stuff, you don't want to, but you know that your whole thing is to try to walk, hit, air anyway. Get the tying run up.
3-0. So he's taking a strike. As Paul said, just to get on and bring Torres up to the plate. Gregorius picked up his 65th ribby on that double. Strike one. And the pitch. Ball four, and that will bring up Gleyber Torres as the tying run with 2 outs. And Dana Lavangi, the pitching coach, will go to the mound.
I think if you're Aaron Boone, this is what you appreciate in your team. I mean, you're down to your last out, your last strike. You've put yourself in a position now where there's a little drama here. You know, one swing of the bat could tie this thing up. Win or lose, right now, your team has gone down fighting, and you know, there hasn't been much good to see with the Yankees so far this weekend. But this has been an impressive last couple of batters to put yourself in this position.
And Stanton started with the double, followed by Gregorius's double. Now a walk to Hicks, and that brings up Torres, who is 0 for 3 in this game. Wrapped into a double play, fly ball to center, and a strikeout. Yankees down 4-1. We're in the 9th. One 1-0 as he checks his swing. He has not looked super comfortable at the plate in this series. Coming back from a stint on the DL, had a game where he had a couple of home runs. It was against the Orioles. The 1-0. 2-0. Greg Bird is on deck for the Yankees.
So Torres looking down at Phil Nevin down there in the third base box, looking at, am I looking for a pitch? A tying run, I think that you got to look out over the plate and take your chances. Completely different situation that Aaron Hicks was in.
Yeah, if you like the pitch, turn on the fan.
And he did. Swings and misses. 2-1.
Got it on the inner half, but it was just high enough in the strike zone. It's very tough to stay on top. You get so pull conscious as a right-handed hitter here in Fenway Park with that green monster. It's like you can almost go out and touch it.
The 2-1. 2-2. Again, the Yankees down to their final strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Yankees down by 3 in the 9th. Just missed off the outside corner. Just missed. And the count is full, so that releases the runners.
Watch Cuzzy flinch right here.
That ball, that was called strike on Gardner. You see Torres' first movement with that front hip. He's looking to pull. It's a pitch you can't handle when you're opening up. I wouldn't take it again, though. Phil Cuzzy's got that right hand ready.
Payoff. Fouled away as the runners were going. Greg Bird is on deck. Yankee universe now on the edge of their seats, the couch, peering in, hoping, wishing, as Torres, the rookie, 21-year-old, steps up big here at Fenway. He walked him. The bases are loaded, and Torres passes the baton to Bird. It's all happening with 2 outs. That one was pretty close, Paul.
Well, you know what? It was close because Cuzzy had a big strike zone hitters before, but definitely away. Ball still breaking away.
So here's Bird. He's 0 for 3. The tying run is now at first base. The go-ahead run's at the plate. Yankees down 4-1. Can they stage this late rally with 2 outs?
Another thing, if you're Aaron Boone, you got to make sure that Gleyber Torres, you know, he has been running too well. You got to make sure that he's able to score on a double here. Big gaps out into right center.
The 0-1. 1-1. And Leon wants to talk with Kimbrel. Kimbrel quick, 2 strikeouts, both looking. Then a double by Stanton, a double by Gregorius, a walk to Hicks, and a walk to Torres has loaded the bases and put the Red Sox lead in peril.
Cora's got to get Barnes up, warming up right now.
Probably at this point wishes he would have just left Ubaldi in there to finish this out, but he probably wanted to get Kimbrel an inning and not stretch out a guy who's coming off of surgery last year. But I'll tell you what, he had it going.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, 9th inning, 1 run in, 4-1 Red Sox. Bird at the plate. 1-1. Again a flinch by Cuzzy. It almost seems like the arguments by Walker and Gardner are resonating now.
Well, that's a ball up in the strike zone. You're not going to get it very often.
Well, Leon's got good hands back there, noted for excellent framing skills.
High fly ball. Center field, Bradley is there. And the Red Sox win 4-1. Well, Kimbrel made it interesting, and the Yankees made it interesting. But the Red Sox closer wins the battle with Bird, and the Yankees have lost the first 3 games of this 4-game set.
Yeah, it's not how you had it written up. You know, it's always the worry, Paulie, when you come on the road, especially at Fenway, and it's a 4-game set. You mentioned that first game that was so important for the Yankees. Now you're staring at a sweep. Little life here in the 9th inning was nice to see, though.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And I think coming in here, everybody was talking about the Yankees trying to win this series. You know, I'm sure the Boston Red Sox had the same idea about trying to close out these New York Yankees, and they've got a big opportunity tomorrow to really, really put them in the rearview mirror by sweeping this series.
Masahiro Tanaka will get the start against David Price. So the Yankees have lost the first 3.